Hello and welcome again to Let's Play Shadows of Alm, and this is Policy of Madness. Last time we did some miscellaneous stronghold shit. Now we're going to do the next level of Durlag's tower.
Nothing to it.
More suicidal fanatics willing to die in the service of hell, I see. Or have you been forced into service, as I once was a millennium ago? Sounds like you have been tricked into doing Helm's dirty work. Looks like we are both unwilling participants in this little drama. Listen, friend. We can help each other. The fact of the matter is, you cannot get through the gate to the next level unless I open it for you.
Now why is this? I mean, the story that he's going to tell is that he was summoned and then imprisoned, and why would they give him the key to the next level? I don't understand that.
So I'm not going to let you through the gate unless you help me end the enchantment that has kept me bound in this infernal dungeon for the last 1,000 years. Do we have a deal? Glad you've decided to be reasonable. The Helmites were never reasonable. It is so much easier to deal with one who isn't a fanatic. Gather the scepter keys and place them in the 4 slots around the cage. Once free, I'll be on my way. And you can go through the gate and take on the imprisoned one. If you still want to.
Alright, so the chromatic demon here is
Whatever you want.
one of the
Gather
only...
the scepter keys and place them in the 4 slots around the cage. Once free, I'll be on my way. And you can go through the gate and take on the imprisoned one. If you still want to.
He's one of the only demons in all of these games who deals with us in bad faith.
Vita mortis careo. Vita mortis careo. Incanto. 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 Incanto.
I'm waiting, if you say so. Yes.
Alright,
Tell me all about it.
now we're just gonna kill everything.
Of course.
Oops, hang on.
If that's what you want.
I think there's a shock. That's it. Yeah, Rakshasa. Okay. That won't do much about the desert trolls, which I think are actually immune to fire.
I'm waiting.
Just want to kill the Rakshasa.
Is that all?
Rakshasas are often able to catch death dogs. What are you guys doing out here?
Yeah. Tell me all about it.
What's this about an imp? The imp who's supposed to give me information is hostile. Whatever.
Yes. Whatever you want. Just ask.
So there's another bit of background to this Richard Dawkins thing that I hadn't mentioned yet.
What would you like? I'm waiting.
Which is that he kind of has a history of being a dick. I hate it when critters don't spawn. Because I know they're going to. Alright.
Manus potentes ha! Presi ali. Veritas, credo, oculo. Manus potentes ha!
You're unkillable. Okay. Just bringing all the traps. Ah, here we go.
Yes. Tell me all about it.
Got a couple of them. Alright. There ought to be spiders in here.
I'm waiting, if you say so.
Okay. Kind of rest gets the spell back.
Yes. Tell me all about it.
Richard Dawkins, quite some time ago, like a couple of years ago, got involved in something that really wasn't any of his damn business. There's another a prominent atheist skeptic.
Manus potentes ha!
Named Rebecca Watson.
Manus potentes ha!
And one day a couple of years ago she put up a
Manus potentes ha! Manus potentes
video on YouTube in which the upshot of her argument was that guys should not corner her in an elevator at 4 a.m. in order to proposition her because it makes her uncomfortable. That was pretty much the entirety of what she said. I mean, the way she said it wasn't necessarily the most kind and polite way of doing it, but, you know, she's not hardly obligated to be kind and polite to people who are propositioning her at 4 a.m. in elevators. And apparently this was some kind of a controversial statement in some way. Because there were a number of guys who took really serious offense at this and started attacking her for having said this. Don't really know what's controversial about that, but okay. So, she was catching a whole lot, like a whole lot of abuse for this. I mean, we're talking about death threats, rape threats. Oops.
Incorrect.
And Richard Dawkins decided that the thing for him to do was to butt into this. Into something that really had nothing to do with him. And give everybody his 2 cents. So this is going to be the last level 6 spell we're going to take. And I'm not sure which one we're going to do. Probably contingency. Actually, there's not really much here that we need. Wyvern Call and all these Conjure Elemental spells and also Carrion Summons. All these have the problem that they're very delicate. The Invisible Stalker is a little bit less so, but it's still pretty... It's still pretty... fragile. These are a little bit less so, especially the Earth Elemental, but again, you have that problem of mental combat. I've actually never used this spell. Maybe I'll take this one. I've actually literally never used it. Maybe because, you know, I have other ways to deal with spellcasters, but maybe maybe I'll take that and just try it out. Flesh to Stone and Disintegrate destroy loot, which is a problem. Tensor's Transformation. I think we actually already went over this with this. It doesn't give you any extra attacks. There's no point in being a fighter if you're not getting extra attacks. Stone to Flesh. Spell Deflection. I just don't deal with those. Power Word Silence is like Power Word Blind, but not as good. Pierce Magic, don't need it. We have Spell Strike. Mislead, don't need it. We have the Cheese Stick. Improved Haste is really great because I think it doesn't yeah, there's no period of fatigue, and it doubles the number of attacks, which for our purposes is actually not very useful. It's only useful. It would only be useful for like the Mort Swords, which have several attacks per round. I think 4. It only affects 1 creature though. That's kind of a problem. Globe Invulnerability, we don't bother with it. Death Fog is pretty nice. It removes all summons. And Chain Lightning is what I usually take because you can do quite a bit of damage. 1d6 per 2 levels of the caster. We are insane. I don't know where this caps, but we're above the cap. So we'll probably take this. I've actually never used these spells, the Nishiru and the other one. I don't know what they're good for, but I know I don't like them against me. But I have other ways to deal with spellcasters at this point. So we're gonna take Chain Lightning. All right.
potentes pars. Manus potentes pars. Manus potentes pars. Manus potentes pars.
So it's not really clear why Richard Dawkins felt like everybody needed to know his opinion on this. But he did feel like people needed to know his opinion on this. And, possibly because he's a famous white guy. So he assumed that everybody just is automatically interested in his opinion on things.
Is that all?
That's just a guess, though. But he jumped in with an open letter. It was a blog post, I think. An open letter to Rebecca Watson. And you can look this up. He titled it Dear Muslima. And the upshot of his argument was that she needed to shut the fuck up because women in Muslim countries often have it worse. Just being propositioned at 4 a.m. in an elevator, when she's trapped in a small space with a guy she doesn't know, is more or less no big deal. Because other women have it worse. And of course, Richard Dawkins, being a famous guy and very prominent in the skeptic community, his opinion carried weight in a way that just random idiots on the street, their opinions don't really carry weight. So he does have a history of telling people that if other people have it worse, then you need to, be quiet. Which is more or less the same argument that parents use with their kids when they want them to eat their vegetables. Starving kids in Africa. That was the starving kids in Africa was the thing that was going on when I was a kid. There was a persistent famine in Ethiopia, which I believed at the time, and many people believed at the time, was as a consequence of bad climate. But the reality is that the bad climate was not a very significant factor. The more significant factor was the way that a bunch of people in these countries were attacking other people. And it's really hard to engage in agriculture when there's armies moving through. But at any rate, the starving kids in Africa argument as to why you need to eat your vegetables, even young kids understand that, me eating my vegetables doesn't actually help starving kids in Africa, okay? If we want to help starving kids in Africa, we need to do something other than making our own kids eat vegetables. And Richard Dawkins is using essentially this exact same argument. If other people have it worse, then you need to not complain. So there are several different ways that we can look at this little thing that he put on Twitter. And the one that he seems to want us to use is that this was just an exercise of pure logic, okay? Alright. can't 100% remember what we're doing here. Can we open the door from the side? Nope. Okay. Richard Dawkins has been getting some criticism for his Dear Movie letter
Tell me all about it.
for quite some time, and he's recently been getting catching flack for this pedophilia thing.
Just ask.
You're gonna let them deal with it. And so the motive behind this Twitter thing seems to be that Richard Dawkins is saying that the people who are criticizing him are just illogical. Let's see if this will help. Uh-oh.
What would you like?
Holy shit. Okay.
Yes.
That was really
nothing
loud.
to it.
It really seems like his motive was just to say that the people who are, uh-oh. That the people who were critiquing him were just plain illogical.
I'm waiting. Whatever you want. Yes. Tell me all about it, if you say so.
them deal with it. But if what he wanted to say was, you're an idiot for thinking that I am endorsing mild pedophilia, or that I'm endorsing
Incorrect.
Tell me all about it.
women being propositioned at 4 a.m. If his objection was to say that he's actually not okay with women being propositioned at 4 a.m. and the fact that women in Muslim countries have it worse
Yes.
is irrelevant to his point. You know,
Tell
if
me
that
all
was
about it. Nothing to it.
his objective, he could have just come out and said that. He could have just said, you know, when I said that, oops.
I'm waiting.
When I wrote that Dear Muslima letter, it wasn't really my intention to
Whatever
convey
you
the
want.
idea that Rebecca Watson needs to just shut the fuck up. You know, she could. He could have just said that. He could have just said that. You know, this idea that he doesn't give two shits about women is wrong, you know, and that's not what he intended to say at all. He could have said that, but he didn't.
Incorrect.
Yeah. Tell me all about it. Just ask.
This is gonna take a little while.
Faster.
You know, he didn't have to frame his idea as, you know, y'all just completely misunderstand me and you're illogical for thinking that I meant what I said. Oh, shit. Let's get out of here.
I'm waiting. What would you like? Yeah. Tell me all about it. Nothing.
So you can look at this as an exercise of pure logic, which certainly seems to be the way that Richard Dawkins wants us to view this. Alright, we need to drop off some of this shit. We'll put it right here. He's not trying to defend himself so much as he is trying to insult the other people. He's trying to say, in as many words,
Oh, this should be fun.
that if you think that he is telling women to shut the fuck up if they don't have it as bad as women in Muslim countries do, which women in Muslim countries don't always have it as terrible as Richard Dawkins seems to think. Oh. I'm not usually able to get two of them. If it was actually his intention to just simply defend himself from, you know, unfair accusations, he could have just said, you know what happened to Rebecca Watson is, you know, something that guys shouldn't do. And I totally agree that you shouldn't make women uncomfortable on purpose. Or do things that you know is going to make them uncomfortable because, you know, as she just said, this makes me uncomfortable. Fire giant can't actually be harmed until you kill the elementals. It's interesting. Did I miss it? How? Don't know why he's not taking damage there, but doesn't matter. So as an exercise of pure logic, it's pretty apparent that that what Richard Dawkins intended to do was insult people. Uh-oh. Devil Shade. What is that? I don't think I have this up.
Vita Mortis Cario.
Huh.
Vita Vita Mortis Cario. Vita Mortis Cario.
Alright. So this is actually not going to be that hard.
Resi Alia. Vita Mortis Careno. Vita Mortis Careno. Vita Mortis Careno. Incanto. 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 Resi Alia.
Whatever. I'm waiting. If you
Alright.
say so.
Let's do this.
After 1,000 wasted years, I'm finally free. And now, to spread some seriously bloody carnage to make up for lost time. Oh, where shall I start? Where shall I start? Oh, I think I'll start with you.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, I think this form is vulnerable to lightning. As it happens, we now have a lightning attack.
Incurto.
Did AT damage. Okay. Where's our lightning attack? Here it is.
Incurtus. Fulcor. Impiet.
It'll be nice if he stays in this form the whole time. Shit, I don't know where I find my spells now. Here we go. Wow, that was bunches of damage. Look at that.
Incursus.
Your death. Okay. There we go. That's all there is to him, I guess.
Of course.
And this is really useful in the next game. Not so much here. If you accidentally kill him, if he's in his fire form and you're attacking him with cold, and you accidentally kill him and you hit the
Tell me if that's what you want.
the final blow on him is dealt with cold. Then that will actually destroy all the loot. I've done that and I was so pissed. But that was not a no reload game, so it didn't matter. Alright.
Yes.
So that's it for this level of Watcher's Keep, and also for this session. But we're just going to wait for our swords to wear off, and then, don't know what we'll do. Probably go down the next level.
Is that all?
We should open the door here first.
Nothing to it. Whatever you want. Tell me all about it.
Alright, so next time we'll be going down the next level of Watcher's Keep. But there's a couple of different ways that you can view this thing of Richard Dawkins. He wants us to think of it as just pure logic, and he's just showing us that people who think that he is being very dismissive to the problems of women with his Dear Muslima letter are just being illogical. Actually, another way to look at it is that he is insulting people unnecessarily, completely unnecessarily, because really all that he has to do to defend himself from these kinds of accusations is to say, you know, that's actually not what I mean, and to stand up. Stand behind that statement and then act like that's not what he means. But he chose not to do that. So another way to view it is that he's just insulting people. And there's another way to view it, and I'll go over that next time. Next time we're going to be going further down into Durlag's tower, although, well, probably what we'll do is see about these, what do you call them? The stronghold shit. We'll probably do some stronghold shit. We'll go back to Athkatla with some stuff. We'll go back to Athkatla with some stuff and drop it off, and then do some stronghold stuff, and then go down into Watcher's Keep. So, join me then. Later.